Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. A week of perplexing events occurred both behind and in front of the camera as Carter scripted his own destiny and Hope struggled to determine whether to kiss. Carter gave Hope everything she could ever desire to hear from a living man after just one kiss. Hope seemed to be inundated with praises from Carter, and as she hung dreamily on every one, her eyes widened and lashes fluttered. I'm still not sure what it is about Hope that causes adult men to lose their minds in her presence, even after all these years. In an instant, Carter went from zero to hero. In a moment, he is presenting figures to incite Steffi and Ridge on HFTF's declining sales, but in the next, he appears to be a narcissistic colleague. Not a bit spooky. The strange thing about Carter, in my opinion, is that in addition to his unexpected admission that he enjoys picturing Hope in her mother's underwear, Lawrence St. Victor, who plays Carter, also writes for the program. I'll go on to my next idea while you give that some attention. Carter's unexpected love for Hope is strangely similar to Thomas's delusional belief that he was her owner. Is Carter the unseen creep that we're not seeing? Let us take a closer look at what is happening. Alright, so it's not a leap to say that Carter finds Hope appealing. However, he serves as the company's COO and is a key decision-maker for her fashion line, which has been in dire straits for some time and is frequently under threat of being cut. I didn't really want to see it happen, even if I did recommend that Hope pursue the man who reports HFTF's profitability and counts the figures. Carter is one of Hope's supervisors and superiors, hence their involvement is inappropriate. Secondly, there should be awkwardness in everything from board meetings to holiday dinners because he dated her aunt, or they were friends with benefits, or something. Well, it shouldn't, but it won't. Carter and Paris, who is currently engaged to Hope's ex-husband Thomas, were almost married. The question is, if Hope and Carter were not newly acquainted, when did their attraction begin? Has he been repressing these emotions in private for some time now and, at the slightest provocation, is acting as though he owns her? All that is known is that during their time together, Carter experienced fantasies about Hope on a sexual level. Regarding Hope, he complimented her on her appearance, which immediately won her over. They shared a kiss after Carter told Hope why he thought she was the most amazing lady he had ever met. Carter may have overstated his objectives when he remarked that two attractive people should act on their attraction to one another. Carter hasn't stopped thinking about Hope at work since that one kiss. That could be a typical response from someone who is in love, but he went too far and began raising so many red flags that I feared the circus was coming to town. When he arrived to Canoodle last week and discovered Hope's lips on Liam's pizza, he was shocked. Although he could have left, he stayed. Then he made another offer to go, but declined. Then, Carter yelled that he was interfering and forced them to stop so he could have attention while Liam was playing with Beth. Even after that, he stayed put and found a reason to check his phone. Hope later told him that although Liam was interested in getting back together, she was waiting to see how things worked out with Carter. He doesn't have to maintain his insecure demeanor because she has been acting accordingly. He gives off a clinging vibe, which is unflattering. Carter managed to divert himself from Hope's attention throughout this ordeal, spending the entire night working on a presentation to save HFTF with strings and pins on the wall. Carter didn't even notify her or speak with her beforehand that he would be speaking on her behalf. He shocked everyone by vehemently advocating for the preservation of her line. Hope did nothing but sit there and watch and wonder as he spoke on her behalf. She had no idea what he would say next. Carter has previously acknowledged altering the data and stated that he had anticipated more accurate estimates. Did it fail to work? At the meeting, he made no mention of it. Rather, he desired that everyone submit to Forrester's salvation, the apex of all that they were unaware they required. Carter is Forrester's COO, yet he wouldn't even respond to queries from Steffi. He even questioned whether Eric would take her and Ridge's place at one point. Perhaps that would have drawn more attention, but when Carter referred to Hope as a beacon of light and claimed that Hope was the reason behind all Forrester was, everyone was left in disbelief. What? Perhaps Eric ought to return so Carter could clarify what that meant to him. Carter was considerably too possessive, way off the mark, and strangely insulting during that encounter. Is this simply poor judgment on the part of the person penning his own narrative? Is Carter actually giving us the creeps? I wish I had the faith and hope to recognize the warning signs here, but she is always viewing things through rose-colored glasses. She has been interrupting Beth and her parents in a passive-aggressive manner and taking over her line without engaging in discussion. Carter is beginning to raise questions in my mind. He's been in relationships before, and he's known Hope for a long time. Yes, he stumbles a lot, but this time, something feels off. Perhaps it was the way Carter saw Hope posing in underwear that made him feel so unsettling. Perhaps it's the way he's thrown himself into it after only tossing about the idea of dating her, but Carter seems like a stalker. There was a genuine element to inviting an employee over for a celebration after she dominated her line during a meeting. However, it didn't help that she entered the room and immediately started having sex. Is it just me, or am I missing the link between these two? Maybe I'm mistaken, but I didn't think sparks were flying that quickly. However, it appears that Steffi is not the only one who has doubts about the truth. I find Carter's behavior uncharacteristic, and it's unsettling. He continued trying even after she withdrew and claimed they shouldn't go that far, adding, "But we could," in a little sing-songy voice. I'm not sure if the writers believe a female wants a controlling, manipulative boyfriend like Carter, or if this is meant to be a foreshadowing of that. Alternatively, it's possible that Carter just needs some chakra clearing to de-stress. It's not just Carter who has us scratching our heads. Certainly, we are aware that it is a fashion house, and certainly, models are seen strolling through the Forrester hallways. However, it's 2024, and I was genuinely fond of Will. Don't turn him into a 90s modelizer that chases girls, please. Positively, Will and Electra will meet the following week. He will be enthralled with her from the first minute they meet, and all the other girls at Forrester will be protected from his fantasies of falling in love with him. The drawback is that Zend, or, dare I say it, RJ, will probably make it into a triangle. When Ridge informed Taylor that he had done some research, hired a person to assist heal her, and received some suggestions from Lee and Grace, she was thrilled. They had no idea that spiritual healing would be effective and that Ridge would be well-versed in it. Ridge deserves my respect for keeping Taylor's secret and honoring his pledge to support her. To be sure, it was an unusual scenario for them to perform chakra work, but I liked how different it was. Not only that, but it was effective. The only reason I sound excited is that the plot thickened out. Anything that does that has my full support. When Brooke arrived, the candles were already lighted and the scene appeared to be cozy. Although Brooke couldn't have seen Chandra from the front door glass, she could have seen her from the rear, of course. Was Chandra a sex therapist, as she believed? Brooke assured Steffi, Taylor, Donna, Hope, Eric, Katie, Bill, Ridge, and herself that she was sure of Ridge's commitment and that Taylor couldn't have him back since Taylor came home. Perhaps she was for a fortnight, but it was a full-on Sheila Carter move to see her in between the curtains at the rear door. Sheila was probably the reason she knew to rush around to that location. That was simply strange. Thus, Brooke surveilled Taylor and Ridge and witnessed them staring into one another's eyes in a room illuminated by candles, with a woman observing them. Of course, Brooke would be Brooke, overreacting and taking it personally. Why did she not inquire about the situation until after Chandra and Ridge had departed? It must have been more enjoyable to wait until Taylor was by herself before confronting her and telling her you didn't trust a word she said. Nothing that you're yelling at someone says, "I'm not angry." Ridge is still willing to help, but Taylor insists she needs more healing. We can be certain that Brooke will exploit that as a pretext to divert attention to herself. Deacon? Bill? Eric? Men, pull out your calling cards. Bill was informed by Brooke that either Ridge or she would propose marriage if that was what they both want. Perhaps she will try that notion, and if it doesn't work, she'll fall into another person's arms, or they'll go to Brooke's bedroom together. Gods of soap opera, please, please don't let it be Carter. Hope Logan's recent involvement with Carter Walton has left many wondering what her true intentions are. Is she genuinely interested in a romantic relationship with Carter, or is there something deeper, more strategic at play? As fans of the bold and the beautiful know, Hope has had a tumultuous love life, particularly when it comes to her long-standing, on-again, off-again relationship with Liam Spencer. Now, with Carter entering the picture, it's essential to explore the different layers of Hope's motivations. Is she looking for stability, escape, or even revenge? To understand Hope's intentions, we need to consider her emotional state, her past with Liam, and what Carter represents in her life right now. ### emotional state, seeking stability or rebound? Hope's relationship with Liam has always been complex. She's endured his indecisiveness and shared his heart with Steffi Forrester more times than she can count. After years of back and forth with Liam, it's possible that Hope is emotionally drained and ready for a fresh start. Carter offers her something Liam never could: stability. As someone who has been steadfast in his commitments and has a level-headed approach to life, Carter presents a stark contrast to Liam's often tumultuous, emotionally charged behavior. Hope may see in Carter a safe harbor, a man who won't waver between two women or be caught up in a love triangle. This aspect of Carter's personality could be incredibly appealing to someone like Hope, who has grown tired of the emotional roller coaster with Liam. But is this enough for Hope to enter a genuine, long-lasting relationship with Carter? Or is she using him as a rebound to distance herself from Liam's drama? Rebounds are often fueled by a desire to escape pain rather than pursue true love, and Hope could be subconsciously looking for solace in Carter after enduring years of romantic instability. ### a power play or a fresh beginning? There's also the possibility that Hope's interest in Carter has less to do with love and more with a desire to assert control over her life. After years of feeling secondary to Steffi in Liam's life, Hope might be trying to rewrite her narrative, showing everyone, including Liam, that she doesn't need to be anyone's second choice. By getting involved with Carter, who has his own history of heartbreak, Hope might feel empowered to break free from her usual patterns. Carter, known for his own romantic missteps, could represent a clean slate for Hope. With Carter, she wouldn't be dealing with the baggage that comes with Liam or the ever-present shadow of Steffi. This relationship could allow her to define a new chapter of her life, one where she's in control of her choices and her happiness. But is this newfound agency truly rooted in her feelings for Carter, or is it about reclaiming power in her own life? ### revenge or redemption? Another possible motivation for Hope's involvement with Carter could be a form of unconscious revenge against Liam and Steffi. For years, she has played the role of the patient, understanding woman, always waiting for Liam to make up his mind and come back to her. If Hope has reached her breaking point, this relationship with Carter could be her way of showing Liam that she doesn't need him anymore, that she's capable of moving on and finding happiness elsewhere. If this is the case, it wouldn't necessarily mean that Hope is insincere in her relationship with Carter. She could still care about him deeply, but the underlying motivation might be to show Liam what he's lost. In this sense, Carter might represent more than just a romantic partner. He could be a symbol of Hope's independence and her ability to thrive without Liam. This dynamic, however, raises questions about the sustainability of their relationship. Can a romance built on the foundation of proving a point to an ex truly last, or will it eventually crumble under the weight of unresolved feelings? ### Carter's appeal, more than a rebound? It's also important to consider what Carter brings to the table in this relationship. Carter is a man who has always been honorable, even when his own love life hasn't gone according to plan. He's been hurt before, particularly by Quinn Fuller and Zoe Buckingham, which makes him a sympathetic figure. He knows what it's like to be in Hope's position, betrayed, confused, and looking for a fresh start. This shared experience of heartbreak could be one of the reasons why Hope feels drawn to him. They both have been on the losing end of love triangles and complicated relationships, and perhaps they see in each other the chance for something simple, straightforward, and real. Carter's stability and emotional maturity may be exactly what Hope needs at this point in her life. He offers her a relationship free of drama and conflict, something she hasn't had with Liam. With Carter, Hope doesn't have to worry about competing with another woman or constantly questioning where his heart truly lies. This sense of security could be incredibly appealing to Hope, who has spent so much of her life in the shadow of Steffi and Liam's relationship. However, it's crucial to remember that Carter is no stranger to being second best. In his relationships with Quinn and Zoe, he was often treated as a backup plan rather than a true romantic priority. If Hope's intentions with Carter are purely to escape the pain Liam has caused her, there's a risk that Carter could once again find himself in a relationship where he isn't the first choice. This dynamic could create tension down the road, especially if Liam tries to win Hope back. ### a future with Carter, genuine love or temporary escape? If Hope is truly invested in building a life with Carter, it could mark a significant shift in her character's trajectory. For years, she's been defined by her connection to Liam and her rivalry with Steffi. By choosing Carter, Hope could be making a bold statement about her own independence and her desire to move forward without the baggage of her past. This relationship could offer her the chance to redefine herself, not as someone waiting in the wings for Liam, but as a woman who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to go after it. On the other hand, if this relationship is merely an escape or a way to get back at Liam, it's likely to be short-lived. Hope's unresolved feelings for Liam could resurface, particularly if Liam starts showing signs of jealousy or regret over losing her. If Hope is still emotionally tied to Liam, her relationship with Carter may not be able to withstand the pressures of their complicated history. ### The road ahead, will Hope and Carter last? In the world of the bold and the beautiful, relationships are rarely straightforward. Hope's intentions with Carter could be a mix of genuine affection, a desire for stability, and a subconscious need to prove something to herself and Liam. While Carter represents many of the qualities Hope has longed for in a partner, loyalty, maturity, and emotional availability, the shadow of her past with Liam looms large over their budding romance. Ultimately, only time will tell whether Hope's relationship with Carter is built to last or if it's another chapter in her complicated love life. For now, viewers are left to speculate, is Hope truly ready to move on with Carter, or is she still holding on to the hope of reconciling with Liam? Either way, the stakes are high, and the fallout from her decision will undoubtedly have ripple effects throughout the lives of everyone involved.